One Zambia, one nation, and welcome to Zanis News. We look at the top stories in the news. Government investing in growth of public service workers. Construction of 8 provincial studios to be completed. Oxfam to spend €3 million on women youth economic welfare. Plus 300,000 children in Northwestern Province to be vaccinated against polio. Well, with the main news in detail, my name is Margaret Kangwa and my sign language interpreter is Jennifer Shalyonda. Now, the Vice President, Mutale Nalumango, says the mandatory public service training and certification for permanent secretaries is a critical milestone towards a crop of public servants who drive an ethical and competent civil service. Ms. Nalumango said the training is testament to government's commitment to investing in the growth and development of public service workers. The Vice President was speaking when she officially opened the economic governance training for permanent secretaries. Let us get the details.
These are permanent secretaries who have gathered to get trained on economic governance and mandatory public service training and certification. Vice President Mutale Nalumango was at hand to officially open the 3-day training in Lusaka.
This interaction or training is a critical milestone in our journey towards creating a cadre of public servants who drive an ethical and competent public service. This training is a testament to our government's commitment to investing in the growth and development of our public servants. Your leadership and expertise are crucial in driving the national development agenda. I urge you to resist unethical, unprofessional, and corrupt tendencies. Upholding the highest standards of integrity and accountability should be the order of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to commend NIPA for developing comprehensive training and certification programs that address the needs of public servants at various levels.
Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa, was also at the event and made some assurances.
I wish to assure you, Your Honor, and through you, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, that this team you see here will ensure that the directive and the decision of Cabinet is fully implemented.
Meanwhile, sponsors of the training had this to share.
It is our belief that the resumption of the certification program as one such bold change the government is instituting shall contribute to the progressive development and strengthening of the public service in Zambia. As the GFG program, we are committed to collaborating with the government in driving change that will create a public service that is even more capable, professional, and proactive in meeting the needs of the citizens of Zambia.
Their training is being held under the theme Strategic Leadership for Inclusive Growth, Fostering Economic Growth, Job Creation, and Social Inclusion. Shilika Chabalengula for Zanis in Lusaka.
In a related story, Central Province Permanent Secretary Milna Mwanakampwe says resumption of training programs for civil servants is a game changer because it will promote competent and ethical public service through training. Dr. Mwanakampwe stated that the government has a clear vision and mission to develop the country, but that this requires a dedicated and well-trained public service that will implement the policies. It was speaking when a team from the Public Service Management Division paid a courtesy call on him shortly before conducting a public service examination and certification strategy validation exercise. And PSMD Assistant Director for Scholarship and Technical Assistance, Daniel Kaliwaila, says the program will equip civil servants with skills to deliver competent services to the public. Mr. Kaliwaila pointed out that the programs will be provided by the National Institute of Public Administration and Chalimbana Local Government Institute.
We have been battling, I think, with the issue of ably qualified people not being able to deliver. Where is the problem? So the problem may be at some point we made a disconnect, which requires to be connected. And for us as a province, we are grateful that you are now here to make sure that we validate.
The stakeholders who were part of the initial stakeholder consultation to validate it, because to affect them. So this time around we're coming for policy validation. So we're calling it a public service examination and certification strategy. So in this sitting, all those that will be affected will be given, will be present, will be given an opportunity to see what the content is in the strategy which now govern the training that will be at NIPA and also at Chalimbana local government training.
And now, on a sad note, government has announced with sadness the death of the newly appointed Independent Broadcasting Authority, IBA Director General Gutila Muleya. Addressing journalists in Lusaka today, Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Tabo Kawana has confirmed the death of Mr. Muleya and indicated that his dead body was found in Jolwe area. Mr. Kawana explained that the late Mr. Muleya had a normal day yesterday and knocked off from work around 17 hours. He says after noticing that Mr. Muleya was not home after he knocked off, family members started calling his phone, which went unanswered. The matter was reported to police and unfortunately today, his body was found with gunshot wounds. Mr. Muleya was appointed IBA Director General in May this year, taking over from veteran journalist Josephine Mapoma, who served the authority from its inception in 2013 to 2023. And now we get to Southern Province, where management at the Nico Girls Technical School in Namwala District organized a learning visit for design and technology learners to the Nico Monze Road construction site. And school head teacher Penyas Mainza explained that the visit was to accord learners with practical experience and motivate them to pursue engineering courses. While Linda Piri now gives us the details.
57 learners from Nico Girls Technical School under Design and Technology Department recently embarked on a site learning visit to the Nico Monze Road project. This visit was organized by the school management to accord learners practical experience and motivate them to pursue engineering courses.
Today, the Design and Technology pupils are taking an educational tour. They are touring Nico Monze Road. The main purpose of this education tour is we want the girls to appreciate engineering. You know, these girls that are doing design and technology, these are the future engineers. So we want them to appreciate the hands-on, to say, if you become an engineer in the near future, what are some of the things that they should be doing? They'll visit the site in Chigumbwe where they are making a bridge. They'll also be at a Wengwa station where they will see how they come up with mixing one or two things. Then from there, they will appreciate the engineering that is done.
The learners visited various points on both sides of the Namwala and Monze Road stretch, while basic engineering lectures were given by Kaplan Associates, the consultant for the road project.
From that junction in Monze, from the T1. You know T1? Yes, that road, the one which goes from Lusaka to Livingston, it's a T1 road. Okay, so it starts from that junction there up to this junction with the M11. This road is M11. Who knows what is M11? It's a 71-kilometer road construction project.
The design and technology engineering students share what they have learned from the site visit.
About this street, like the elevation of the road. So when the road has a slight turn, like a curve, it's done. They do that to prevent accidents. I also learned that potholes are caused by a number of factors, such as a lot of water when constructing a road or rocks. So you have to remove these rocks and you have to put rock fill to make them stronger, especially in the rainy season. And you have to test your soils so that you can know the soil that should be used and should not be used.
So as we are here, we're here to, as DT takers, we are here to appreciate this work because most of us here want to become civil engineers, others want to become architects, other ones want to become quantity surveyors and site surveyors. Yes, so we really appreciate us for being at this tour and for the Monze Nico Road.
Once completed, the Monze Nico Road will contribute to boosting economic activities between Namwala and Monze districts, while Linda PV reporting in Namwala district of Southern Province.
And now, Chembe District Education Board Secretary Gladys Mwape says high pupil absenteeism has continued to affect the learners' academic performance in the district. Ms. Mwape has appealed to parents in the district to encourage their children to be attending lessons consistently if the pupils' results are to improve. Here is a report.
They say education is key to success. Hence, government introduced free education to encourage many children to go to school. But in Kundamfumu area in Chembe district, some pupils have decided to abscond from classes, while others are reportedly breaking the school rules with impunity. Chembe District Education Board Secretary Gladys Mwape has therefore appealed to the parents to help curb the situation. And Sub-Chief Kundamfumu has cited failure by some parents to discipline their children at home as the cause of the problem. The traditional leader has therefore pledged to get involved in upholding discipline at the schools. Trevor Lubala for Zanis in Chembe District, Luapula Province.
Meanwhile, the Zambia National Education Coalition ZANIC is concerned that learners in rural parts of the country continue to lag behind in accessing online learning due to unreliable internet and lack of information communication technologies, ICT. And ZANIC Board Chairperson Henry Kawe said this during the training of teachers from 40 rural schools in Kapirimponshi district, where ZANIC has created education listening clubs to enhance remote access to learning. More in this report.
Alternative modes of learning through online platforms has been crucial to provide continuity and remote access to learning. However, access to online education has been a challenge among learners in rural areas due to poor internet and lack of appropriate information communication technologies.
The reach of the alternative modes of education provision that the Ministry of Education was implementing was below 23%. E-learning and television education programs were only reaching a few children due to lack of internet, high cost of internet bundles, load shedding of power, and lack of ICT equipment.
To promote equity in the access to education among learners from rural schools, the Zambia National Education Coalition, ZANIC, has established radio learner listening clubs in 40 schools in Kaprimposhi district.
There is need for us to ensure that we intervene to strike a balance between rural and urban areas. We are also trying to push so that the education broadcasting services radio station, which is just covering Lusaka, also covers rural areas so that lessons can be aired there for every child in our country to be able to access that kind of education.
40 teachers from selected schools have been trained to spearhead the radio listening clubs.
The essence of the radio listening clubs are for the pupils to be able to have more like catch-up lessons. So the teachers will be with them as they run through the recordings that we provide to these schools.
Carlos Zanis, Kaprimposhi.
Well, we now take our first break. Stay tuned for more news.
Zambia Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours. Don't miss.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
The news continues. Now, Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Moitwa says the government is concerned with the non-completion of the 8 provincial studios being constructed across the country. And Mr. Moitwa announced that the procurement of the equipment that will allow the Zambia News and Information Services to broadcast live has been concluded and waiting for the official launch of the television channel in a few weeks' time. The minister said this today at Sunshare Warehouse in Lusaka when he inspected broadcasting equipment that will be distributed to all provincial studios. We now move to the Copperbelt province, where the local authority in Masaiti district is happy with the construction of two 1x3 classroom blocks at Luebesha Primary School in Lumano Ward. And Luebesha Primary School has been constructed through the 2022 Constituents Development Fund at a cost of over 1.6 million kwacha. More in this report.
The Masaiti Town Council has continued their dispensation of development across Masaiti and Kaflafuta constituencies. This has been seen through the allocation of different developmental projects in the health and education sectors, among other projects in the district, which has come as a result of the increased constituency development fund. Masaiti Town Council chairperson, in the company of the district commissioner and other district officials, conducted a monitoring tour of the projects under the constituency development fund.
CDF is a game changer. As you can see, we've got 2 blocks of 1x3 classroom, which was done at 1.6, and that was the CDF for the whole district some time back. But under New Dawn government, it has done 2 1x3 classroom block, and this is very good. I'd like to commend the President for the vision he has for this.
The residents of Kamafwasa zone in Lumano Ward are happy with the construction of the school in the area, as it is the long distance the children had to cover to access school.
Government pakuleta kwe school pantu abana balechula mu misambirire era bambino okufirwa baleperera bambipanshira nokoleka bengi balilekere mulandi wakwe bati government yatuletera kwe school tulepera amalumbo n'amatotero mpepi apa
tulinensa nsesha kuti sana elo twatemwa sana okutuletera kwe school pano abana balera kwa mushiruku tali nomba patulinensa nsa patuletera kwe school mpepi kabiri tulelomba kubuteko ati tubatuletera kone chipatara mpepi.
And Masaiti Town Council Assistant Director of Engineering has an appeal to make to the community.
We came up with an initiative of putting up pit latrines. I think they have constructed 3 of them. That's what they're using at the moment. And then with the operation account, we managed to put up a borehole there. It costed about 64,000 kwacha. So it's equipped with the hand pump, and it's operational at the moment. That's what the school is relying on. I think we still encourage the community WDCs to continue applying under CDF, that we come and put up some accommodation, staff houses or something, that will push on the crisis of accommodation here.
The school is now partially operational and only remaining with a few works for it to be fully functional. Nkwachi Chanda, Zanis, Masaiti District.
Now, in other news, Oxfam Zambia is earmarked to spend about 3 million euros to improve socio-economic status for women, youths and marginalized groups in western and southern provinces. And Young Christian Women Association Project Officer Nyambe Lukowe disclosed this during the ongoing 3-day training workshop for women on community leadership in Mongu District of Western Province. More in this report.
These are women drawn from various wards in both Mongu Central and Nalikwanda constituencies to be trained on how they can participate in decision-making at community levels by the Young Women Christian Association, YWCA, held at Dolphin Lodge in Mongu District. YWCA Project Officer Nyambelungowe says the training is aimed at equipping women to take keen interest in aspiring for leadership roles in their various communities in the district.
We are having a training where we have called about 20 women from 4 wards here in Mongu, which is covering Nakato ward and then Nalikwanda constituency. Then we have Katongo, we have Yeta and Namshaken ward in Mongu Central. So basically under this training, we are training women in leadership roles at the community level. So at the end of the training, we want to see women coming up to aspire for positions in WDCs, which is our development committees, under CWACs, so that they are able to influence the decision making at that level. Because once women are empowered, they are able to change their livelihood, they are able to decide what other women that will be able to benefit from that particular community. So this training, in general, it's going really to help us reach out to the other women which are not here, so that they can aspire in their areas where they come from.
Some of the women participants taking part in the training said the following.
Lubona kubata kubona molokona kuchimbulira bulini wabasali ni banana kulokona kuchimbuka chwane ngobota wabona myapise mukulu fumani kuli basali hangata kona bayinzi faku hatelelwa hulu ni banana kulwanisiwa cholo kona kutusa chwane basali bala bahatelezwe ni banana bale hapise simu so kona kuituta mwateso so kuituta hulu ikuli lona basali bakona kuba mwa zamaiso nuna basali kale no kusina bane bazamaisa konoka chenu musali wako na president musali wako na kuyema mwasitro sifika pasifi
mirutire kwa mkopano wa YWCA kwa manani rutoi tutamate kwa manani wiketu abana bana abasidana muka kona kwa babaira kwa likolo kuli bakone ku kenali kolo handi manani runa basali kwa manani kuli unani kuhatelerwa ko kuliko kutuna hulu kwa mana kali tulo mane hamocho ni kwa mana mwama komiti kulukone kuba mate likutwanga fya kulubatu abana ni boyi lubatu abasa swalisani hande kwa mana kabasali kono fa lutrofu mana kuli luna basali lubatu abatuna.
Oxfam Zambia, through its partners such as YWCA, Women for Change and NutriAid Trust Zambia, will spend about 3 million euros to improve the socio-economic status of women, girls and the marginalized groups. The 2023 to 2027 project is targeting over 15,600 beneficiaries in Mongu and Kaoma districts in Western Province and Gwembe and Namwala districts in Southern Province. Darlington Kavambe reporting in Mongu district, Western Province.
And Acting Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Brenda Tambatamba, says the government is committed to addressing the high levels of poverty through the implementation of social protection interventions. And Ms. Tambatamba has cited the implementation of emergency cash transfer as one of the measures to improve food and nutrition security and reduce vulnerability among the people. And Minister said this The minister said this during the official opening of the Social Protection Joint Annual Review held in Lusaka. Ms. Tambatamba stressed that to further address food shortages, Zambia has entered into an agreement with Tanzania to import 650,000 metric tons of white non-GMO maize. And speaking at the same event, Acting United Nations Resident Coordinator Nathan Bakaita expressed the UN's continued commitment to supporting Zambia's social protection efforts. Dr. Bakaita said the UN in Zambia has provided support to build and expand social protection over the years with the valuable support of cooperating partners. Meanwhile, Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office Social Development Advisor Maximilian Walia said social protection plays an important role in the achievements of the Sustainable Development Goals.
The New Dawn government is committed to ensuring sustained and continued social protection for the poor and the vulnerable. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is undeniable fact that the country faces critical food and nutrition insecurity due to the dry spells that we have experienced during the past farming season. This has further been exacerbated by the high cost of essential commodities that include mealie meal and other basic family requirements. In this regard, the government has put in place the following measures. 1. The emergency cash transfer response.
Over the years, we have witnessed significant progress in our social protection initiatives. The integration of various programs and a comprehensive approach to addressing the needs of the most vulnerable populations have led to substantial improvements. Initiatives such as the Girls' Education and Women's Empowerment and Livelihoods Project, JEWEL, the Social Cash Transfer Program, and more recently, its connection with social health protection, NEMA.
Progress has been made on a number of SDGs, but still challenges remain quite significant, especially on SDG number 1, on ending poverty. But we acknowledge that social protection actually can play a significant role in responding to these high levels of poverty.
The Department of Fisheries and Livestock in Lunte District has given out 55 cattle to 7 beneficiary cooperatives under the Smallholder Livestock Infrastructure Management Project Pass On the Gift Program. Lunte District Commissioner Joseph Chilando, who officiated at the handover of the livestock, explains that the project is a testament of government's commitment to empowering communities and enhancing their livelihoods. Sylvia Zulu gives us the details.
These livestock farmers from different cooperatives in Lunte District are gathered to receive animals under the Pass On the Gift program of the Smallholder Livestock Infrastructure Management Project, SLIMP. Lunte District Commissioner Joseph Chilando officiated at the event.
This scheme is a testament to our President Aga Inde Ichema's commitment to empowering our communities, including here at Kapatu, and enhancing the livelihood of our people. Livestock farming in particular plays a crucial role in our economy, providing not only a source of income, but also ensuring food security and better nutrition of our families.
Lunte Town Council Chairperson George Chikwanda also attended the event. Zakaria Chideshe represented the SLIMP focal point person and outlined the successes recorded by the program.
Empowerment of farmer organizations. The project has empowered livestock keeping farmer organizations by improving their access to public and private sector services. This has enhanced their capacity to manage livestock.
Some beneficiaries have thanked government for the program.
Ministry yene pamasambiriro evaletupera munchende bali tusambirisako ifo tuingapanga ifyakulya fyanama apali iyo tulela ndati zero grazing kanshi tulapanga ko supplement food kuna mashesu
su tulete otera pakalambanga nshi kuli ububu teko pali chibwa chita mukwaikale kuno kuluvemba twale mfwira patali ngombe sharife kuba nenswa lelo mukukutemwa kwesu kututemwa kwesu bakateka betsika ntwale kwe ngombe kubabemba mukwai bakateka wesu tuleti tulipanshi mwabombeni mukwai.
Reporting for Zanis, Sylvia Zulu in Nunte District.
Now, over 300,000 children to be vaccinated against polio in Northwestern Province. And Provincial Public Health Specialist Kizito Sampa says the vaccination campaign is aimed at protecting children against the disease. Here are the details.
Poliomyelitis is a highly infectious disease caused by the polio virus, which causes paralysis in children. Zambia recorded 2 polio cases in Ndola on the Copperbelt province in December 2023. This has prompted government to embark on an immunization campaign of children below the age of 5 on the Copperbelt province and the neighboring provinces, namely Luapula, Central and Northwestern.
Outside, this vaccine that we are giving our children less than 5 years, it's a drug we have actually given this before. As Northwestern, we have given it. This is our 3rd time that we are giving it. So it's very safe because at the end of the day, what we want is all children because this is a target group because they are the ones with immunity, whose immunity is very low, and they are vulnerable to having this disease. So what we would want is to ensure that they get the necessary vaccination so that at the end of the day, we want to eradicate this disease.
Provincial Maternal and Child Health Officer Florence Mukoma shares the benefits of polio vaccination.
Polio disease is irreversible, but it is preventable. And the only thing that can prevent our children from having polio disease is only through the vaccination.
And stakeholders in the health sector are ready to sensitize members of the community on the importance of the vaccination.
We must be able to do things that are right and that save the betterment of the people that we do that we save.
Pakwamba tukikije kino kikora twafaina kutambwira jimo bana batambure muchi mwanenge basakumonanga abantu basakuyanga nakupitanga na nakupana muchi wa polio kechi tukanyepo tunangwa mwane tumone mambo kino kikora kyateberera karantanda.
Polio immunization campaign will be held from the 25th to 29th July 2024 and will be held under the theme End Polio, Reach Every Child. Chibibi Nyongani reporting for Zanis in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
And in Northwestern Province, Health Director Lakson Chindikita says the government is providing an enabling environment to ensure that fistula victims who had lost hope are treated and restored. Dr. Chindikita said over 15 women with fistula condition are expected to be operated on. He said the Ministry of Health is working with partners such as the United Nations Fund for Population Fund to conduct fistula tracking and fistula camp treatment in the province.
Fistula condition develops as a complication after prolonged labor, thereby occasioning the breaking of the tissues, which leaves the victim with challenges of passing urine without ceasing. United Nations Funds for Population Activities, UNFPA, has come to the aid of women with fistula conditions in Northwestern Province by organizing what is known as Fistula Camp, where clients drawn from across the province will undergo surgical operations to repair the broken tissues to help stop the coming out of urine without ceasing. The doctor's delegation leader explains more.
We have screened the patients who have come, who came from different districts within the Northwestern Province, and we have screened them and we started the operation. So far we have done 3. We intend to operate more tomorrow and and Wednesday, and we are hoping that the program goes well. The message to the public is about prevention of fistula. Fistula is very much preventable, and it's preventable if a woman is not allowed to labor for a long time. She goes in labor, she's at the hospital, and the decision is made if things are not going well, so that they do the operations. They do a cesarean section, and once the cesarean section is done in time, then the woman will not have a fistula, the woman will have a live baby, and they will be happy.
Jane Famigele is fistula analyst working with the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, UNFPA.
I've come to support the province at this fistula repair camp, including those women who have been repaired. They have come for review. For the total cost for this fistula repair camp is 395,000 kwacha.
Provincial Health Director Dr. Lacson Chidikta appreciates the gesture,
encouraging all our mothers in Northwestern Province, even beyond, that those complications that come during delivery, it's not the end. There is a solution. Let them come out.
A story of fistula cannot be complete without success story from a person who had lived with fistula condition for 12 years.
I want to advise you that when you have fistula, that's not the end of your life. Fistula is curable. I was one of the patients, but I was cured, and I managed to go back to school. When I had fistula, I used to isolate myself because of the smell, and the man that wanted to marry me ran away. I was failing to even go to church, but now I'm fine, and I'm able to go to church.
Reporting for the news and taking command in Kalunga District, Northwestern Province.
In our Northern Province, Minister Leonard Mbao has urged the people of Mpulungu District to remain united in order to spearhead development in the area. Mr. Mbao, who is also Mpulungu Member of Parliament, said the people should not let politics divide them but should instead accommodate each other. He was speaking in Mpulungu yesterday during the burial of Jesta Nampanje, the wife of Mpulungu District Commissioner Gerard Sikazwe.
A somber mood characterized the burial of Jesta Nampanje Sikazwe, the wife of Mpulungu District Commissioner Gerard Sikazwe. Mrs. Sikazwe died at Mbala General Hospital after battling with cancer. Mpulungu Member of Parliament Leonard Mbao led hundreds of mourners at Chilako village in Mpulungu for the burial ceremony.
To give solidarity, to give the last respect to the late wife, to the District Commissioner from Mpulungu. This is what is required in the times like this. We have shown love, we have shown support. We must be one united force, because there is no single person who has got better ideas than all of us. When we are coming from different walks of life, different places, we come back together. We sit together to decide on one decision. Then we have everything with us. Because all of us in our diversity, we are strong in one or two areas. When we bring all the strengths together, we will see us moving forward. So I want to really thank the people of Mpulungu from all walks of life. They have been here to support this.
The church reminded the mourners to always believe in God. Family representative had this to say. Christine Selu reporting for Zanis in Mpulungu.
And finally in the news, police in Mazabuka district are investigating a case of arson where the owner of the house was killed by a mob on suspicion of being a cattle roaster. And police spokesperson Ray Hamonga confirmed the deceased was killed and his house burnt by unknown people on Sunday evening, but could not give full details as investigations are ongoing. And Kazela Hawanda has more in this report.
The remains of a house burnt to ashes by a mob in Munajingwala Ward in Magoe constituents. One of the victims, who was killed by unknown people, was the owner of the house and was suspected to be among other cattle roasters in the area. But the unfortunate incident has raised a concern from the Munajingwala traditional leadership, urging residents to avoid taking the law into their own hands.
Traditionally, kunyina mbonga ndamba bulindi membuli mwenderezi kuti makani mbutamba uli kumuntoga kwa mbongo gamboga kuti hena mubona muntu nata nalibonya muntu amba utoka cyango ino kwajindino atuyamba najamba kuyobola mulimo werera utayobole mwana wesu atumuyobole pere investigation gikyani kizumanana bana bose bana mwana jinga kuti mula utawe zimu manza kujitabwerete alimi nayi tujagitika tuhanda kwambana kwa kumulawo tubatugahanyi agambo kabyavi galanyonganya gisi yonse mbuyizuba alimi galanyonganya abantu bonse mbuyizuba.
The traditional leader has described cases of cattle rustling as being on a high, but seek law enforcing officers to investigate.
Because animals are sometimes transferred from here to Chief Yongo, Chief Mujabi, Chief Yamusonde. Where are these animals that were brought by Manachingwala people? Yet that's why we are saying there's a connection between Bantuagono and the other people. But otherwise, this thing is very, very rampant in Manachingwala. It's not good. We need to make a strategy how to help. But this only requires a proper attention and working together how to fight this problem. Because it's on a high rate. It's on a high rate. It is not only in Kafuyo flats. Even here, the goats are being taken every day. So we need to work very hard, closely.
Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga has confirmed the incident, but could not give more details, stating investigations going on. It is alleged that some of the suspects are on the run, while one was apprehended and is in the hospital nursing injuries at Mazabuka General Hospital. Gazela Yabwanda, Zanis, Mazabuka District.
That report brings us to the end of the news, but now before I go, let us have a summary of stories that made headlines. Government investing in growth of public service workers. Construction of 8 provincial studios to be completed. Oxfam to spend €3 million on women youth economic welfare. Plus 300,000 children in Northwestern Province to be vaccinated against polio. Well, that was all we had for you here at Zanis, and on behalf of the entire production crew, thank you so much for being with us. It has been Margaret Kangwa, and my sign language interpreter has been Jennifer Shalionda. Stay tuned.